Oh boy, do I have something special for you today. Today, TB Rays here, who you've seen much of in the past, is going to try something very unique. He's going to stare at the ground the entire time, throughout the entire course of the battle, and still manage to do 10,000 damage. No, that's not what's special. I have two perspectives in this replay for you today, and I really hope that you appreciate this, because this adds more work to a video than you would probably expect. It's a headache. My brain is running a million miles an hour trying to think about how I'm even going to process commenting this. I'm hoping really desperately that everything lines up nicely. But TB Rays here is being joined by Binjuan, and Binjuan, both of these guys in the clan, is someone else that you have seen here relatively recently, most recently in the IS. I had to think for a second there as to if he's been seen somewhere else in the past. Probably. Yeah, definitely, 100%. As you can see here, TB Rays here is in the E25, a very sneaky little tank destroyer, and Binjuan is in the Black Prince. Two very different vehicles. One being stealthy, the other one being armor and not much speed comparatively. And TB Rays here is already picking apart the enemy before Binjuan can even get that slow Black Prince into a spot where he can do some sort of damage. TB Rays does actually take a big hit from the 105 on that VK, which is unfortunate. He lost a lot of his hit points there, but you know what? He managed to get that gun out of the game. He managed to get rid of the light tank that was scouting their base and putting a lot of pressure on the rest of his team, potentially. And you know what? That's worth something, absolutely. TB Rays is now going to see if he can sneak up here and get himself some more kills. And another light tank comes flying out of nowhere, doing more damage to TB Rays. TB's gun has been damaged, but he fixes it real quick. Luckily, the T-52 there is missing a few shots and desperately firing on the move, trying to do some damage to TB Rays, panicking perhaps, but not panicking enough, doing more damage to TB Rays until he manages to get himself killed, leaving TB on not very many hit points left at all. Binjuan, at the same time, has just managed to find this ARL-44 and is going to have a little bit harder of a time taking him out unless Artillery has anything to say about it, which, by the way, its voice was heard, but its voice was not very loud, and he took no damage from that whatsoever. ARL-44 has managed to put one shot into him, and for some reason is just going to continue to sit there and take shots at Binjuan. Binjuan's probably like, what? How did I not take more damage from that? As he takes a shot from the Panther M10. TB Rays has already found himself more targets to shoot at. Did you see that first shot at the Super Hellcat? It just missed and hit the T-3485M instead. So TB just decides, you know what? I'm just gonna take that 3485 out of the battle and then come back for the Super Hellcat, because that is what apparently fate has decided. Now TB Rays is going to push up and see if he can acquire more targets or do some more spotting for the team, but actually, Binjuan is the next one to find an enemy vehicle and managed to put a shot, maybe two? Almost two, into the Cromwell down there. Maybe a second one finally? Yep, absolutely a second. He managed to get the tracking shot. Can he put a third in? The Cromwell's had his track repaired, but still actually sits there for some reason. That's a little bit odd. Not the smartest move ever from that Cromwell. But hold up here for a second. Let's rewind this replay by about 20 seconds, because TB Rays has found a Panther M10, and luckily this Panther M10 is paying absolutely no attention to TB Rays for some reason. He is on a mission, it seems, which is really good, because TB Rays would probably be very dead. Hopefully the rest of that Panther M10's team does not also look at TB Rays, and you can see he's concerned about that, looking around to see if anybody else is able to get a shot at him he should be concerned about. And luckily TB's team is just wrecking that Panther M10. If that Panther M10 dies, then it's probably really good for TB, but he's gone unspotted. He's going to take the blind shot. It doesn't matter. He's dead anyway. TB Rays has avoided death somehow, one way or another. Binjuan is moving up here, trying to push up, knowing that that Cromwell is out there somewhere, and that the numbers on the enemy team are dwindling a little bit. TB Rays is trying to do a little bit of scouting, see if he can spot something else to get some shots on, and he finds another Panther, a Panther 2 this time. Despite spotting that Panther 2, TB Rays decides to get out of that bush and realizes that that Panther 2 had a line of sight just at the edge of that bush and has spotted him, and decides he doesn't want to take the chance of taking a hit here because he doesn't have the hit points to spare. And living to fight another day is way better, especially when he's in a nice little spot such as he is now. So, TB Rays is back in the waiting game. He's going to get a little bit impatient here. He's going to probably poke back up and see if he can spot something else. I mean, that would be the smart thing to do, as long as he can't get a shot at this Type 59, which he can. Maybe he can put something in there if the 59 lets him. Maybe not. Perhaps not. He's going to go back up here and see if he can spot that Panther M2 or anything else again. Or not Panther M2, the Panther 2. Any luck? Yep, Panther 2 is still there. Did the Panther spot him again? Yes, he did. That Panther must just be barely seeing the E25 through the edge of that bush, just across the edge of it, because this E25 has a very good camo rating. There's no way that Panther 2 would manage to spot him if he wasn't actually beside the bush and was behind it properly. Binjo on the other side of the map is waiting for the perfect opportunity. He's hoping that probably TB Rays can spot something, or else the Hellcat or someone else on his team. Binjo, regardless, is going to continue his push-up and try to support his Hellcat ally, and maybe even get a bit of a flank going around. But for some reason, Binjo decides to back up there, and now has this RHM to pick on himself, which is a little bit scary because the RHM is going to be able to do damage to him just like that without too much difficulty whatsoever. However, Binjo does have the rate of fire. He's trying to keep an eye on that Cromwell. The Cromwell might have some shots. The Cromwell's firing high explosive, doing 4 damage. And can Binjo get the last shot in on the RHM? Not quite. He tries, but it was, you know, it was in vain. It was in vain. Let's try to get into these guys' heads here. I'm thinking that Binjo is waiting to see if someone like TB Rays is going to spot something, so he doesn't have to risk taking a hit from the RHM, and TB Rays is probably wishing that Binjo had less hit points, so that he would probably be on equal terms to himself. Thank you, artillery. Exactly what TB wanted. What? Anyway, TB Rays is going to poke up here. Yes, that Panther is still there. Hey, he actually manages to spot the S51 artillery as well. Cool. And there's also a Type 59 on the hill behind TB Rays, but it looks like that Type 59, looking at the minimap here, is going to leave that flank and not really be too much of a concern for TB Rays anymore. Anyway, Binjo is over here taking pot shots at bushes like a madman, trying to hit that RHM, having given up on waiting for someone like TB Rays to spot anyone. Who knows if they're even still there, but worth a try, whatever, I guess. Yep, more pot shots. Just, you know what, shoot every bush in the game. Eventually you'll hit something, possibly, maybe. But you know what, I bet they're both getting kind of antsy because there's only 3 minutes left in the battle, and there is 8 vehicles left on each team still, with 4,000 or 5,000 hit points on each team remaining as well. So TB Rays is moving around, trying to get something going. Binjo is still going with the pot shots, don't worry about him. And TB Rays has acquired a target, being that S51 that he spotted a few minutes before, who is now killed by one of his allies. Meanwhile, that Panther 2 on the minimap that TB was being spotted by earlier has been respotted again, and TB is going to immediately whip it around and head back there and see if he can now use that spotting spot with a little bit more success. Maybe he can get a shot of that Panther 2 while it's distracted. Maybe he can see something else. Maybe he can help his friend out a little bit more with Binjo over there, having still nothing but stationary bushes to shoot at and hoping for the best. Will TB spot anything? So far, not really. Oh, there's the Cromwell. TB Rays is hesitant to fire. He knows he's going to be spotted. Binjo is hitting the target. TB Rays is still holding his fire until now. He gets a shot off and decides to finish him off himself, which works out quite nicely because Binjo couldn't hit him anymore, given where the slight hill there was relative to the Cromwell's location. Binjo takes another hit from artillery. TB Rays is looking around, trying to find the best, trying to figure out the best way for him to spot things, trying to figure out the best way to help Binjo, who is now down to about 300 hit points. Not really a whole lot more than TB Rays has been stuck on for most of this battle, and there's still 4 enemy vehicles remaining, including artillery, with 2 minutes left in the battle now. Things are getting a little bit tense. Binjo is slow. If he wants to get anywhere meaningful in the last 2 minutes of this battle, he has to go now. He has to risk being shot by that RHM. And that is something we'll have to see if he's going to do, or if he's going to sit back and just accept defeat. But I kind of doubt that's the case. Actually, did you see that? Artillery just managed to hit the RHM with a very nice shot there. That is a game changer for Binjo. Binjo is absolutely, he has no excuse now not to push up, and he is, I think, is going to absolutely do just that. TB Rays is probably quite scared for his life at this point in time. He's thinking, you know what, this defender is over here. He's last spotted in or around this dip in front of me. Fighting a defender in an E25, unless you get the drop on him, is absolutely a scary thing. I don't know how many hit points that defender has left, but if it's any more than 1, 2, 3 shots that it would take TB Rays to kill him, then it is going to be a problem. 1 minute left in this battle. Binjo is still advancing. TB Rays is still waiting. TB Rays is getting antsy though. Will he go? He's thinking about it. He's like, you know what? I'm going to take the risk. It's all or nothing now. Less than a minute of this battle to go. There's the defender. He's a 2-shot kill if he can get in there, but the defender is well aware of his location. Defender makes a bit of a mistake and sticks his butt out for TB Rays to get. He only has 8 hit points left, but now that he's aware of TB Rays' position, and the Panther 2 is also looking at getting a nice shot in there too. You know what? Get rid of all that stress. Crisis averted. There's only 23 seconds left in this battle. This Panther 2 and the artillery need to get out of here. Binjo is pushing around the back there. artillery must be back there behind that Panther 2. Bingewan's not going to have enough time to get to the back of the Panther 2. TB Race is going to have to do that, but Bingewan is going to find the artillery and be able to take him out without too much problem whatsoever. TB Race is getting behind that Panther 2. He might get killed by him. He has no choice, though. He's got to get in there and get that shot. And at the same time, Bingewan managed to get that artillery kill. And with no time remaining in this battle at all, no time whatsoever, what a buzzer beater, they managed to secure the victory for their team. What a great work. This platoon has carried this match. Wonderful. That's what I like to see. Thank you guys for having this battle and letting me take a look at it afterwards. It was wonderful to watch. And although this video has been a crap ton of work, oh my goodness, I still got editing to do. It's going to take forever. I hope it was worth it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a good one.